So let's talk about this question of finding an element in a sorted and rotated array. So first of all, this is a sorted array and this is a sorted and rotated array. What is a sorted and rotated array? We have the sorted array. If you pick this element and put it here first, then after that we pick this element and then put it here in the front. Then we pick this element and put it here in front. Or we pick this element and put it at the end, and then we put this element at the end, and then we put this element at the end. So this becomes rotated. So this new array that we have obtained is a sorted and rotated array. And in this array we have to find an element k, for example 6. We have to find whether this element exists in the sorted and rotated array or not. So the solution to this question would be do a linear search. Check each element one by one, starting from the left hand side, whether it is equal to 6 or not. If it is equal to 6, we return the index of that element. If this element is not found in this array, then we return -1. But you can see that if that element is 6 is present over here, then we have to search through all the elements, and the time complexity for this algorithm will be order of log n, which is linear search, and time complexity order of log n. Can we do better than this? See, even if these elements are randomly present in the array and we search each element one by one, we will be able to find whether that element exists in or not. So we are not using one information, an important information, that this array is also sorted and rotated. So we are missing out that information. If we use this information, then we will be able to solve this question in the time complexity, which is better than order of n. And also all the elements in the array should be distinct. If they are not distinct, then we cannot apply this approach. We can only apply the linear search approach, not the approach that I'm going to discuss. So now let's see how do we find whether 6 is present in this sorted and rotated array or not in a time complexity which is better than order of n. So we say this is an array and it is sorted, and we have to find something. So the first thing that should come to your mind when you have to find something in the sorted array is, can we use binary search? Yes, we can use binary search in this question, and we will use a modified version of binary search to find our answer. First, we find the pivot element in this array. Now, what is a pivot element? A pivot element is an element which is greater than the element on its left hand side and greater than the elements on its right hand side. That will be a pivot element. Around the pivot element, this will always be increasing and this will always be increasing. Both the subarrays will always be increasing around this pivot element. So our first task is to find this pivot element. Now how do we find that? How do we find this pivot element? To find this pivot element, we have to, this array is divided into two. First we take this low and this high, and we find the middle, which is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9 plus 0 by 2, which is 4. So this is a middle element. Now we check, now around this middle element, this array is divided into two parts. One is this and one is this. Now we check this part. We check the low with this middle element. Low is less than this, so this part is always increasing. Then we check middle with this. This is greater than this. So over here, first it will be decreasing and then it will be increasing. Over here it is always increasing. Here it is always increasing. Here it is decreasing and increasing. So we have to select that half in which elements are first decreasing and then increasing, because a pivot element will lie in this half only. You can learn this as a fact, or if you want to observe it, you can observe it and then learn it. But this is true, that element will always lie in that half which is first decreasing and then increasing. So we reject this half and we pick out this half. We update our mid from mid to mid plus 1, and the high remains the same. Now we check in this. 9 plus 5 by 2, that is 7. Is this element greater than its next element? No, it is not. So this is not the pivot. Then we have divide this array into two halves, into two parts, left and right. We have to check whether this is strictly increasing or this is strictly increasing. The one which is strictly increasing, we simply reject that half and move into the other half. First we check 10 to 2. No, this is not increasing. So the pivot element will lie in this half. So this is the process in this question. We take a middle element, divide the array into two halves about that middle element, and check in which half it is strictly increasing. The half in which is strictly increasing we can check by checking the first element and the middle element, or the middle element and the last element, and we will get to know in which half it is strictly increasing. We reject that half and go to the other half because our pivot element will lie in that half. After we have found a pivot element, we divide this whole array into two sub-arrays around this pivot element. One is this, one is this. This is always increasing and this is also always increasing. Now we check in which range does the element lie. Does it lie in this range? If it lies in this range, then we will reject this half and accept, and our new search space will be this half. If it lies in this half, then we will reject this half and our new search space will be this half. So 6 lies in 5 to 10. So if the element is present in this array, then it will be present in this half, or it will not be present at all. So we continue this process and we are able to find our target element, which is 6. So in the first step, we find the pivot element by rejecting that half in which the elements are always increasing. And in step 2, we find our target element by finding in which range does our element actually lies in. So it takes 2 traversal and a time complexity of order of log n, because at every point we are rejecting one half and selecting one half of the array. So time complexity cannot be order of log n, but it is taking 2 traversal. Can we do better than this? Can we do better than 2 traversal? Can we do it in 1 traversal? And the answer is yes. We can solve this question only in 1 traversal. And now we will see it how. So we were doing one unnecessary work over here. That is finding the pivot element. Our aim was not to find the pivot element. Our aim was to find the target element. If we can avoid this unnecessary work of finding the pivot element, then we can do this question in a better time complexity. Now let's see how do we do it. So we take the middle element over here. This is low, this is high. Middle element is equal to low plus low minus high by 2. We do this to avoid an overflow condition, else an overflow will occur. By overflow we means that the space which is reserved for storing this number, we will have a number which is greater than that number. So an overflow will occur. To avoid that, we are finding the middle element using this formula. Else we can do low plus high by 2. So now we have found a middle element. Now we have this array divided into 2 sub-arrays around this middle element, and either both of them will be strictly increasing, or one will be increasing and one will be decreasing and then increasing, or both will be increasing. At least one of the 2 halves will be strictly increasing. When we find which half is strictly increasing, we check whether the R element lies in that range or not, in that strictly increasing range or not. For example, we check in this half. It is not strictly increasing, 9 to 4. It is not strictly increasing. It is decreasing. 9 is greater than 4. So it is decreasing in this half. So we will reject this half and we will go to, no, we will check for the half which is strictly increasing, sorry. So this half is strictly increasing, 5 to 9. So we will check whether this element lies in this range. If it lies in this range, then we will continue our search in this half and reject this half. If it doesn't lie in this range, then we will go to the second half. and check our element in that app. So this is and by following this procedure recursively, we will be able to find whether the element is present in an array or not. And the number of traversal it will take is 1 traversal. And the time complexity will be order of log n. So this is, we are doing this 1 traversal, that is to find a target element. So this time complexity is better than the previous approach, and this is the most optimal solution for this. So after you have found your that you think is the most optimal solution, always check for test cases. Do not straight away hand over your answer to the interviewer. Check for test cases. Check for inputs. Check for various inputs. One is a simple inputs, like we have taken, this is a simple input. Check for edge cases and corner cases. For example, if it is an empty array, if there is just one element, if there is just two element. And when you choose a test case, your test case should be large enough. Your test case, you can choose a small test case. Don't make it too small, but it should be small enough so that you can do 2 or 3 test cases very quickly. But when you are choosing this example, one of the steps in solving a question in algorithm programming is choosing an example, like I choose it over here. The example should be large enough so that it is not a special case. For example, if I choose only 1 and 2, this will become a special case. My example is large enough so that it is not a special case. And when you're choosing test cases should be small enough so you can do 2 or 3 test cases. Check out for edge cases, whether you are able to solve using edge cases. And after you have run through these test cases in your mind for the code that you have written, after that only hand over your solution to the interviewer. Okay, so if you find this video useful and like this video, then please like this video. And if you are new to our channel, then subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Till then, goodbye.